the Egyptian god Thoth. Okay, it says beginning in the 2nd century BC onwards, Greek texts attributed to Hermes, a syncretic combination of Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, appeared in Greco-Roman Egypt. Those texts known as the Hermetica are heterogeneous collection of works that in the modern day era are commonly subdivided into two groups: the technical Hermetica, comprising of astrological, medico-botanical, alchemical, and magical writings, and the religio-philosophical Hermetica, comprising of mystical philosophical writings.
Now they talk about Hermes Trismegistus, right? So they talk about the Hermetica books. There's actually, from what I understand, there's 5 books. A few of them are about practical magic and things like that. Later on, there were philosophical books written long after. Joe Rogan says this dude was probably an alien. And that's true. They do think that Hermes was an alien. Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god, came from the skies. That is the origin story. It's the historical record written down. They claimed he was a god here to teach man wisdom. Now let's unpack this. We're going to deep dive into this a little bit, okay? And that Wikipedia page that Joe reads is mad confusing. Almost by design. So I'm going to present to you a paraphrase from the research I did into the Cambridge Handbook of Western Mysticism and Esotericism, okay? The short version. Hermeticism, this goes back to the Greco-Roman area, and they influenced all of occult thinking that we know of today. Hermeticism is the concept that wisdom or intellect or knowledge or gnosis, whatever you want to call it, this wisdom about the world and God and man is something that's meant only for the ones worthy to receive it, the initiated, the elites. All right, that's how it's been for hundreds of years. That's why you had mystery schools only for the priests of ancient Egypt. And the Hermetica books are contributions of this wisdom from Hermes Trismegistus, right? And it consists of the practical Hermetica from ancient Egypt, which talks about magic and astrology and alchemy, the foundations of Western occultism. And then you've got the philosophical Hermetica written long after that was more of a philosophical ideas. Now, Hermes, as they talk about, was actually associated with Thoth from Egypt. Thoth was the god of writing, cosmic order, and magic. And then around the 5th century BC, the Greeks identified this other god, Hermes, and said, that's the same god as Thoth. And his name, Hermes Trismegistus, refers to Hermes the thrice great. Repeating and reiterating great 3 times because that's how great he was, apparently, right? So if you wanted to pronounce it, it'd be Hermes, great, great, great. Now, I'm going to read you from the book because they define the doctrine more specifically. The basic doctrine of Hermeticism is the idea of an indissoluble interrelationship between God, the cosmos, and man, which implies the unity of the universe. God is the source of being that encompasses everything that exists. God is within himself, the world is in God, and man in the world. The Hermeticists shared the Stoic idea that the beauty and perfection of the world prove the existence of a perfect creator. At the same time, however, they were convinced that true knowledge of God was only possible through divine illumination. It says here, Hermeticists share the Stoic idea that the beauty and perfection of the world proves the existence of a perfect creator. This flows into the ideas of the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. And you can hear right from the definition, they were convinced that true knowledge of God was only possible through divine illumination. These are the ones worthy to receive the information, only the initiated, the illuminated elites. That's the goal of the Hermeticism. And the texts later talk about how God was androgynous in both sexes. This is the alchemical rebus. Alchemy is just the art of Hermeticism. So they depict it in art. So when you see the alchemical rebus, which is male and female together, it's showing you God. But Thoth or Hermes was also part of the Nag Hammadi text. And people believe that Hermes was Enoch. The ancient theology, they had a term for it. It's like, Principia Theologia or something. It's this idea of the universal connectedness of us and God and one consciousness. And you see this in a lot of occult teachings, like in the perennial philosophy of the Huxleys and things like that. The idea that we're all connected. That's the short version, all right? And that comes from the Hermetica. And another takeaway is that Thoth was an alien who gave us the Emerald Tablets. He was an ancient alien, all right? Which ties us into, of course, all the realms of ancient aliens. Isn't that something? So Cat Williams thinks that all the stories in entertainment that we're fascinated with could have been based on real beings like hobbits or Atlantis. And alchemy keeps getting brought up, right? Alchemy being the art of Hermeticism. And it's how symbolically we represent this wisdom of the initiates. That's why we keep talking about rituals in entertainment and symbolism in movies. And that's why Carl Jung was talking about these archetypes and Joseph Campbell with the hero's journey, because it all relates to a universal truth according to the occultist. Doesn't that all make sense now?